We started a quick segment of Take Care of Yourself by Carolyn.
And
then y'all got on to me.
Nobody cares about how much water you drink. That's amazing.
You're supposed to drink.
I
the
drink
basics of it is
I drink
8
7
ounces.
liters a day. What are you talking about?
7 liters. That's a lot.
I drink like 300 gallons. Like, dude.
You're supposed to drink.
Wait, you're saying
like in
a
those
week?
8-ounce water
I drink
bottles?
60 in a day, bro.
8 to 10 of those little 8-ounce
Dude, I was talking
bottles
about per
a day.
hour.
I'm not even lying about that. You're supposed to.
We know.
Take care of yourself, everyone.
But Dungeons and
Dude,
Dragons
I'm drinking
is
water
fun.
right now. Like,
You
dude,
should
get
do
on my
it.
level.
Dungeons and Dragons is a really fun game. Everybody should do it. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about forget those interview questions. Tell me about your craziest D&D mission or your episode. Dude, did Warlock the champion attack you? Did you have to roll 12 for a critical hit?
I know you're making fun of me,
but it's all true. That's all stuff that happens.
Yeah.
It's only
Warlock the champion.
We
the
are
real
talking
character.
right now. We're about to go into like a dragon cult or
Mr.
something.
Smith.
I don't know.
Mr. Smith.
But probably the craziest is that we split into 2 groups. Our rogue went one way and we went another way, and we have to fight.
One could say he went rogue.
Yeah. We were going to get like dresses because we were supposed to play at a party or something. I don't even know. One of our characters is a bar. Our bard was going to perform. I don't know. So we went to the tailor and that went to crap. But the entire time, our rogue is going to the place that we were supposed to be at the next day, and he killed the dad of the family. And then so we get there and they're like, yeah, party's canceled, and we're like, what? That was one crazy thing, and I described it horribly, but there's not a lot I can get into without having to spend 15 minutes talking about backstory stuff. But the funniest to date, and it's probably the most recent one, we were playing a game. We were playing around, and we fought these like frog creatures, and we grabbed one, and the same rogue went, hold on, don't kill it yet. And he says to the DM, whose name is, I'll just say his name is Josh.
We've said it multiple times.
Yeah. He said, I rolled to seduce the frog. And...
Seduce it?
Yeah. Our dungeon master went, what? And he went...
PG-13 stuff.
He goes, I rolled to seduce it. And the people, our two newest members, this is their first time playing with us. This is like 15 minutes in. And they just went, huh? And Josh went, roll. And he goes, you realize you have to roll a disadvantage because you don't speak the same language. And our rogue went, there's body language. And so he rolls and he ends up failing the roll. But we spent like 15 minutes. And I'm the one holding the frog. And so we spent like 15, 20 minutes trying to seduce this frog character. And it doesn't work. He gets out. He runs away. Or maybe our monk just put him out of his misery. So one of the two. I don't remember.
Do you guys have those things? I know you don't watch Stranger Things, but do you have like character pieces like they do in Stranger Things?
We want to. We have
Is
right now.
Dungeons
We
and
have
Dragons like Stranger Things?
That's not what I said.
Yeah.
Get over
That's
yourself.
what I asked.
Yeah, but get over yourself. You
No.
think Stranger Things is so
I don't know.
bad.
I'm gonna say a soft no.
Why?
It's so boring to me.
Why?
I don't know. It just is.
Okay.
Stranger
Like,
Things.
I know you.
Normally,
Yes.
I like things like that. I'm not gonna lie, but when I watched Stranger Things, I thought it was nothing but boring the entire.
I wasn't able to get through it, but that's more because I had been spoiled, so my brain was like, you already know what's gonna happen, so you know.
But
No,
is
we
it
don't
because you're used to structures where it's like action, 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 action?
I don't think so, because I watched Longmire recently, and I love that show. So
See,
I don't know. It wasn't entertaining to me at all.
Because when you did it, were you focused on like each episode being a segment? Because
No,
I feel
watched it all at once.
But I feel like when you watch Stranger Things, like you can't expect anything in an episode, like because
I didn't.
It's all in it. Like, it's like
watched
an
the
8-hour
whole-
movie.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. I didn't think it was interesting the entire time.
You didn't think her powers were interesting,
No.
or her character at all.
No, she was like, she didn't talk.
Or
She
the
didn't do anything.
Demogorgon.
Demogorgon looked kind of cool.
Or Will's disappearance, or the fact that like dead Will was a thing. Like they thought he died, and they like opened him up. It's a stuffed animal or whatever, stuffed person.
I mean, I don't know. It just wasn't.
Or the
It
dialogues weren't fun at all, or like not
it
fun,
just
but they
didn't
weren't
hit home to
interesting. Okay.
They just weren't in. It just was a boring show.
Okay.
Okay, but to answer your question, I don't know. I haven't watched it, so I'm gonna go with soft no.
Well, what about this?
To answer Jackson's, we have little.
Lucas and I are
fans.
having our biggest fight right now.
Okay.
What about this? Okay, so like let's say a pair of sunglasses comes out,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, "Oh, those are cool." He's like, "No, they're not." I'm like, "Why?" And he goes, "Oh, yeah. Sunglasses are not good." I'm like, "What? Sunglasses aren't cool?" He's like, "No, just aren't any sunglasses."
That's your biggest fight right there.
I mean,
But like, isn't that weird? that know sunglasses, no matter like these or like his or hers, like it doesn't matter to him. None of them matter. Isn't that weird?
Are you making an analogy? An analogy? What is the thing? A metaphor?
No, this is a real thing that happens.
No, we talked about it the other day. He doesn't like sunglasses.
Yeah, this is a
You're
real thing.
You're literally
that
wearing them right now.
Yeah. But I don't think they make me look better. I don't think they're cool.
But you don't think they have any... Like, it's not like buying a cool pair of shoes.
I don't get that either.
You don't get cool shoes. Do you get fashion?
No. Have you met me?
But like...
Look at what I'm wearing.
But I'm saying like... Okay, hoodies is like what you wear all the time, right?
Yeah.
So like, you would pick a hoodie over a different one because it looks cool or it looks better than this.
Sure.
So why can't you relate that to the rest of your wardrobe?
Because that's a lot of effort. That doesn't make sense to me.
But your brain doesn't do the same thing for
What do you do for like big events like prom or dances or just
I have
nice
to dress
dinners?
Up. I have to. So.
But doesn't that also mean like your brain's thinking about that too?
I pick up stuff and I wear them, but it's so uncomfortable that the entire time I can't look at myself and be like, oh, I look good. All I can think about is how uncomfortable I am.
But at no point in the whole process you're like, I like this suit. I look good in this suit.
Not for a second.
You need to go and get like a suit tailored so it's comfy.
I mean...
You get a suit and it has
you don't get suits tailored?
You have this...
Not really.
You have
like you don't
the
go to
soft,
Men's Warehouse
fuzzy stuff inside.
I have never stepped foot in. I stepped
Hey,
foot
if you go to
in
Men's
Men's
Warehouse,
Warehouse once.
You should go to the Men's Warehouse.
Oh, hey, Caroline.
Hi. Yeah, and I've been drawing, sorry.
I think I am going to divide this into 2 parts. This is like a different episode.
Literally, yeah.
Oh, that looks really good.
Thank you. You should go to Men's Warehouse and talk to a guy named Apollo. He works on commission. He can get you a
like
suit.
the god?
No, his name only has 1 L. He's my friend. He's really cool. I'm not gonna drop his last name because I don't know. But I can
to answer the D&D question because I do want to answer this. We have little discs that have just pre-made characters on them because he bought a whole thing. But we want to get little figurines.
I think the sketch better than the liner.
We want to. We were gonna 3D print them because our school has a 3D printer. We just needed like to rent it out or something.
Doesn't it cost a lot of money to do that?
I don't know.
Or to buy. They probably cost more to do that than to just buy them.
Okay, here's my next question for D&D.
Yeah.
So I walk into the bookstore, right? And I find all that D&D stuff next to like comic books and stuff.
Am I ready?
What are those for?
The books themselves, they give like some of it is like
are they
information.
Like pre-made stories?
Some of them they have like
extensions.
We're going off one right now. Some of them are just like information on various monsters or various like backstories you can give to like characters because our DM has used that because his little brother didn't really know what D&D was, but he wanted to play, so he gave him a pre-made character and he used a book to like help get a backstory or something.
Just Demogorgon.
And other
roll 8 for fire.
Okay.
Isn't Demogorgon the monster?
Yes.
You can
That's
do
what they
that.
fight.
But you can. But some of the books are like kind of sort of pre-made stories. It's like he won't let me look at them. The ones that we're going off of, obviously, but we were together in a bookstore because my friend group, we like to go to the bookstore. So we were looking. We were in that area, and he's like, "Wait, no, I may get them." Stop. He was like, "Oh, don't look at them. Oh, I may get them." So I'm like, "Okay, whatever," and I just don't look at them. From what I know, they are kind of sort of pre-made stories, but they're more like an outline for the story.
But what do you need to play D&D?
Dice. That's like
the basics of a character.
The specific dice, and then I use D&D Beyond because it's free, and I literally use that to make a character.
But isn't it all just in your imagination?
Kind of, but you do need the dice so you can actually like roll. But that's literally the character sheet is so you can like do. If I did a perception check, I can add the bonus, and it has a note section online, and so I can take notes of what's happening. So really, literally, all you need to play D&D is the specific dice. And then, which
is a D20 or something.
There's more. There's a D20, a D6, which is just literally like a regular dice. A D12, a D8, D100.
You need all of them?
There's a D100.
It only has 10 sides and it goes 10, 20, 30, 40. If you wanted to get specific, you'd have to roll something else.
It's a D10.
It's a D10, but with different numbers on it, pretty much. But that's pretty much what you need. A character and then those dice. And then anything else. Some people, they get, our DM, he got like a grid whiteboard that he uses, it's not a whiteboard, he can like roll it up to. So others, they use paper, others, they get like, they take an old board game, like, Chutes and Ladders or something, and they paint over it, or they just literally use the Chutes and Ladders. It just kind of depends on what you want to do. So.
So, like, if we took the Neanderthal cave from the, what is that game called?
Boss Monster.
Boss Monster.
Which you can't build on. You can't build on the Neanderthal cave.
As everyone knows.
As everyone knows.
So, you can't build on Neanderthal cave, but we could turn it into a D&D set. We could go through the whole cave. I want to be an elk.
An elk?
An elk?
Level 20 elk.
I have to get up to
I roll a d6, and if I get a 6, I kill anything on sight.
Not exactly how it works.
But if I roll any other number, I die instantly. The game's over. I can only use the skill once.
I mean, I guess. But
I don't even know what I'm talking about. I just made a D&D character.
I guess you could if you want. I don't know why you do a deer, but...
No, an elk. I said elk.
Yeah, but they're similar enough. It's fine.
Not to me. Not to my character.
Okay, fine. Calm down.
Yeah, his character finds that very offensive.
It's fine. Okay, an elk, whatever. But
I
like,
have a
he can't understand
D&D podcast y'all should listen to. It's called The Adventure Zone.
it's okay.
They don't pay us. We don't need to name them.
It's still a good thing.
Oh, I have a great question for you both. Okay, so Lucas and I have already gone into depth about this question. Mm-hmm. So I just want to get your opinion on this. Mm-hmm. Okay, Lucas, you don't need to like answer anything because I know what you're going to say anyway. Okay, so let's say Drexel's the one that has the bad opinion on this. So let's say I forgot for a minute, but let's say you get married in the future and you're with your husband.
Oh.
And so like you're living in your house with your husband and you're outside one day and actually let's frame this as the husband. So your husband's outside one day and the mailbox driver comes up in his giant truck and he like dings your mailbox, okay?
Yeah.
And he hits your mailbox and then you're like, hey man, you just like hit my mailbox when you were coming in here. And he's like, no I didn't. And that's it, no I didn't. And you're like, but I think I saw you. And he's like, well, sorry, you must be mistaken. Drives off, okay? Second day this happens. Pulls up again, hits your mailbox, go, dude, remember yesterday you hit my mailbox? He was like, no I didn't. He's like, well you just did again, I saw you do it. And he looks at it for a minute and he's like, maybe I did. But sorry, man. Oh, by the way, one of your packages got all beat up. Bye. Drives off again. Third day he shows up. He hits the mailbox and like you're like really angry at this point. And your husband's really angry at this point and he sees it go down. And then
how do I get to back to the layers?
Shh, Carolyn, continue.
The husband sees this happen, and the mailbox guy steps out, the postman steps out, and he goes, man, I really hit it that time. You're going to need to buy a new one of these. Sorry, man. Oh, actually, though, one of your packages left it there, but duty calls, and I can't, like, go back and get it. Like, I have to return it, like, next week. Because I'm the one that has to do it, and I'm on call for next week. Gets in his car, drives off again. All right? So at this point, your husband's really, really mad, and he's angry that this happened 3 days in a row. So, but it's earlier in the morning, so he gets in his car and he drives to his favorite coffee shop. And he's in it's a pretty famous coffee shop. It's like local, and it's famous to everybody there. And he's waiting in this long line. And then all of a sudden, he sees the guy walk in. And it's the same guy that keeps hitting your mailbox. And he passes everyone in line, just like acts like they're not even there. He like puts the money on the counter, slams it down with his fist, and then the guy that's selling the coffee goes, oh yeah man, like love you man, here you go. And they like high five, they're like best friends. He gets to skip the entire line, and then he's drinking his coffee as your husband is like steaming, and he watches the guy walk out. Okay. So instead of getting his coffee, he's like so mad that he's not even focused about what he's doing. He walks out the same door, meets the guy in the alleyway. As the guy's like going to get into his car and drive off, he sees him in the alleyway, and the postman's like, oh man, dude, this is so good. He starts drinking it, maybe even pours it out a little bit, just to be like a rude person.
Yeah.
And so your husband like loses it. He finds a pipe on the ground and he beats the guy, and the guy passes out, and your husband thinks for a second. He's like, and then he lets his anger take over and he stabs the guy with this rusty pole or whatever it is. And so he's like, okay, killed the guy. So he takes the body, puts it in his car, drives back to your house. And then he's talking to you like an hour after it happens, and you're just like talking. He's trying to find a way to bring it into conversation. He's like, hey, you remember that guy that was hitting our mailbox? And you're like, yeah, he sucks. We hate him. He's like, yeah, I killed him. I got really angry and I killed him. What do you do? Like, what are you doing? What's your next action after he's like, I killed him? And you know the reason he did it, and you know all of the stuff that I just told you. but your husband is saying it to you. What do? Do you ride or die with him? And you're like, yeah, let's go hide this body. Let's get this stuff. Let's get it done. Or are you like, I'm turning you in, man?
How long have we been married? How long have I known him, and how long have we been married?
10 years.
10 years? I was gonna say 5, but go ahead.
I've known him 10 years. We've been married for another 10 years. Let's go with that.
No, that's too long. Long.
We've been married 10 years. I've known him for.
Well, then what's the exception?
I don't know. I just need to know.
I would ask him what he wants.
Sure, go with that, and then tell me when you wouldn't anymore.
I don't know if.
I would ask him like, hey, what do you want to do? If he's like, well, I want to hide the body. I'd be like, are you sure you don't want to?
If we've only been married a year, so sorry, bud.
Terrible
I
crime.
love you so much.
No, he's like, so we hiding the body, right? You're gonna help me out.
Here's what I do.
I don't know.
I don't know. Part of me wants to say
ride or die like we do. That's all
part of me wants to say ride or die, help him. The other part of me is like, oh my gosh, if we get caught, this is gonna be terrible.
Yeah, see, I appreciate that answer more than Drexel, because Drexel said like he would not, no matter what.
He said if first of all, Lucas and I have each other's backs because we already agreed if one of us kills somebody, ride or die, we're burying him in the ground. You'll never know we did it.
Mm-hmm.
Still never know we did what. And so
well, we're gonna have to cut that.
Nah.
Someone's gonna cut that.
Yeah, exactly. Now you're catching. But yeah, we did that for each other. We asked this to our friend, and he says no, he would never do it for anybody because he's not like an idiot. He would just like turn us into
I mean, it made me kind of mad. Oh, I'm dying. It made me kind of mad because he was like, oh, like he took like the moral high ground. He's like, it's so wrong to do that. Why would you ever even think about doing that? And I was like,
because the guy smashed our mailbox.
But I was like, dude, that's not.
My issue is though, he put the body in his car.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb.
He put the body in his car and took it back. What you do is, you just leave it there, but you take the pipe with you. If you don't touch the body and you take the pipe with you, they don't know you're connected at all.
Right, but listen.
But there may be cameras. I get that.
Okay, you married an idiot. Okay, no, what?
I think in the scenario there wasn't cameras.
There wasn't cameras. Nobody knows that you went out after this guy.
They don't have to know we pulled this from a different show.
So they
we may have stolen this bit, but we can edit it.
So let me get this.
The whole thing out.
The only thing that would implicate. Let me say this: if the only thing that would implicate us is that the body is in our car, and we have this kind of past history of him hitting our mailbox, yeah, I'd probably ride or die, because we could always.
Well, that's the whole point. Is that like it's up
to
you to either turn him in or stick with him. He's like, I killed this guy. Are you going to help me out? What's your answer?
For me, it's always like, what were the circumstances?
And I just gave you all the circumstances.
So for me, it's like, I don't know.
It's kind of out of blind rage, and like, you know, he had all this discussion with them about like, hey, keep it in my mailbox, and the guy eventually, like, at first the postman, like, he's ignorant to it, but at the same time he's kind of like, did I? And then like later on he's like joking, he's like, oh man, I really hit it that time.
He's like purposely hitting the mailbox.
Maybe not. Maybe not even purposely. He like keeps hitting it on accident, but he's like he doesn't. It's not a thought in his brain to even like go around or whatever. He's just like, oh, you know, if I hit it, I hit it. He already knows I hit it, so what does it matter?
At that point, it's kind of if we can figure out a way to where it doesn't trace back to us, like ride or die.
That's what I like to hear.
I
like to know people.
If for the police out there, I would turn them in. For everybody else out there, ride or die.
Roll a d6.
If we have kids,
I'm
probably gonna turn him in.
I'm gonna say, dude, you're doing this by yourself, but I won't say anything.
Yeah, so if you have kids, you're turning them in.
If we have kids, I'm gonna say, I won't say anything.
You think your wife would turn you in?
If we had kids, I'd say, I'm not going to say anything.
Well, let's be clear
but you need to do this by yourself. So if anything happened, hopefully he would understand. But if anything happens, it falls on you so the kids are okay.
Let's be clear on one thing first. You asked me, would she turn me in?
Yeah.
Truth.
Yeah.
The way I am, like, personally, I probably wouldn't even tell anybody.
If it happened?
Yeah.
Then how would you get rid of the body?
I would do it by myself.
You think you could successfully do it by yourself?
I would try my best. Because as soon as you tell someone else, they could get in trouble too. To me, that's more important. Like, if that happened to me, and I was like, shoot, I need to get rid of this body, I wouldn't tell you because I'd be like, I don't want to ruin his life for no reason.
Does the answer change if the postman and your husband, like, the postman, like, he kills the postman and then he turns around and there was, like, a really, like, I don't want to say old lady because I could sway you, but there was just, like, another person there that saw it go down. He's like, hey man, what's going on? And your husband just kills that guy.
Yeah, that would change it. It would change it. I'd be like, you killed two people,
homicide.
One of them for no reason.
Both
to his face, I'd be like,
to his
face, to his face, I'd be like, I'm not gonna say anything. I would do that. I'm not gonna say anything. You need to do it yourself. But the second he leaves to go, I'd be like, okay, kids, get in the car. We're gonna go on a little trip.
What if there's
and we'll go to the
kids
police
in this
station.
scenario?
If there's no kids,
What have you got to lose?
My house, my job.
Would you have kids with the guy if like? Would you have kids with the guy if this goes down?
What if this happened early on? Like
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If this goes down and
and
you ride or die with him, and then 3 years later he's like, hey man, I want to have kids. Like, you gonna do it? That's my question. Because like, doesn't it? Because if that's not the case, and like, there's an implication where it's like, well, that's a line I don't feel like crossing. Like, doesn't that mean that like he's not the guy that you should keep anyway? Yeah. Doesn't that answer the question?
Yeah.
Because you got to ask yourself, like,
what am I willing to put up with today?
Yeah.
What's the line I'm willing to cross?
That's it. Yeah. I don't know. I want to say I would tell him I'd ride or die. I would ride and die. But on the inside, I also know he would drive away, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go hang out with my sister. And in all reality, I'd drive to the police station and be like, hey, I feared for my own life. I helped him do this. I'm sorry. Community service, question mark?
If he asked you, would you not be afraid that if you don't say yes, he might try to harm you?
Yeah, I would be afraid. I'd be like, yeah. And I would probably end up helping him, but then I'd also be like, okay, I'm going to go hang out with Carol, and I won't tell her anything, and then drive to the police station.
But what if he wasn't like, but what if he wasn't even paranoid? Like, what if he was just so matter of fact, yeah, I killed him, it just happened. Will you help me? And then like afterwards, like maybe like for a week, he's just normal. He's just like, nothing happened.
I would be so scared for my life because he just killed a man and was not remorseful and not regretful.
Guy had it coming.
He had it coming.
Stop, Caroline. I have to think of my own safety. I have to think of my own safety. I'm sorry, but like, let me pose a question to you all.
D&D.
Yeah, it is. Let me pose a question to you all that I saw on Twitter the other day.
Oh.
Oh gosh. That I saw on Twitter the other day, and it was, they offer to pay you $80 an hour to clean a cemetery by yourself from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Would you do it?
Oh, for sure.
For how much?
$80 an hour.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, what's the area there?
By yourself in a cemetery at night, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Is it a conceal and carry state? Because then it doesn't matter.
Dude, it doesn't even matter for me. What the heck? Why not?
You get $500.
Yeah, you get $560 a night.
Yeah,
Can you
totally.
imagine?
100%.
Yeah.
Not even a question.
Because you could have a day job and then you do that.
Yeah. Or honestly, I don't even know if you would need. What is that a week? I'm breaking the no phone policy to.
But I'm just saying, if you wanted to be rich, I'm not saying.
I mean, yeah.
I don't even see why that would be a problem. Like, yeah, sure, it's spooky, but like.
That's $3,920
only for like
a week.
the first week. Then
I feel like after a certain point, you're just like, yeah.
I'm a jumpy person, so I would do that. I would be kind of freaked out for probably longer than a week.
Yeah, but just because in your mind, a cemetery is like a spooky, scary.
My next door neighbors have a cemetery, so.
Dude, his name is Logan.
I understand.
It's a YouTube thing.
Because of Logan Paul? Is that what you look at?
No, but I just
he's a character from the YouTube thing she watches.
I thought I'd look at our Lord and Savior.
Okay, no, but our neighbors are a church, just where we live. Our neighbors are a church and they have a cemetery. So to me, a cemetery is not like some kind of sort of enclosed space. A cemetery to me is, there are coyotes out here, there are wild animals that could walk through. That's what would scare me. And also, we're right by a road, and it's a smaller cemetery. If somebody is totally off the rails and drives into the cemetery, I might get hit. But that's just a that's a 1 in a million. That's a 1 in a million thing.
I could understand the animals, the car, no.
Yeah, no, it's just how the road is right there.
Yeah, but if I had a gun, it wouldn't matter.
I mean, yeah. So that's to me, that's the thing. It's not even necessarily like
I wouldn't even need a gun.
Anything else. It is truly just like.
I have a shovel, right?
A shovel?
I have a shovel.
For all animals.
Yep.
You're cleaning. Why would you have a shovel?
You know,
clean up the dirt.
But that's what I would be afraid of.
If they're like, if you turn down the gun.
Okay. What do I have? What do I have to? What am I cleaning with? A broom.
A little spray thing, a rag.
What? Yeah. What am I cleaning?
You're cleaning the cemetery. That means like
cemetery.
gravestones.
What? Like the floor of the cemetery?
Cemetery don't have floor.
Like the grounds of the cemetery.
Like the grounds, the gravestones, all that.
Yeah. Fine.
No, it doesn't matter.
With that kind of equipment, yeah, it'd be fine.
Is there like enough light for me to like see the stones?
I mean, yeah, but honestly, it's 10 p.m. to 5 a.m.
To be honest, for me, it's
so as you go, there's more light. You could go at 10 o'clock and stay in the little guard shack until 3 a.m. and then clean everything in 2 hours because you'd have light and you'd be like.
And besides, if it's in Alaska, it's bright outside anyway.
Okay, very true. But also, it depends on how big the cemetery is. Like you can clean like a.
So I'd wear a headlamp.
There's no situation.
There's no situation where this is like creepy. Let's go into a different segment.
I don't know. Part of me is afraid of demons. You know.
Well, I don't believe in demons. So let's go into Would You Rather's.
That face.
I don't believe in ghosts, but I believe in demons.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Okay, here we go.
I play Luigi's Mansion. I know what to do.
The only list of Would You Rather questions you'll never need. All right, here we go. Would you rather lose the ability to read or lose the ability to speak?
Oh.
Well, if you can't speak, you're just like Stephen Hawking.
Right.
And he was still pretty successful.
I think speak because there's sign language too, so.
Would you rather have a golden voice or a silver tongue? What does that mean?
A golden voice is you want to sing well or talk well?
A golden voice is like...
You can
convince
people. Silver tongue means you're really good at lying and also convincing. So it's like a win-win either way.
Probably a silver tongue.
Would you rather know the history of every object you touch or be able to talk to animals? I feel like the talk to animals argument, it's so stupid. It's so dumb.
Because animals aren't smart.
Unless
like,
you're talking,
it'd be like talking to a 4-year-old constantly.
But unless you're talking to like the smartest orangutan, like it wouldn't matter.
Even then, it's like talking to a 10-year-old. Like,
I would do the history. I would do the history of everything.
Like, it'd be cool to just like poke something and be like, yo, this thing was made in 1982.
Would you rather suddenly be elected a senator and suddenly become a CEO of a major company? Oh, or suddenly become a CEO of a major company?
I feel like both of those would require me to actually be smart.
You won't have any more knowledge about how to do either job than you do right now.
I would probably do...
I feel like that wouldn't work out very well.
Honestly, I don't care either way. Because I have been in leadership positions for a long time, so senator would be fine. I'm also a senator right now at my college. So.
I think being a senator, just because I feel like there's more people to like help you understand what you're doing compared to like a CEO where everyone's like, so what do you want to do? And you're like,
I don't know. CEO I think would be fun.
Well, I think this next question is kind of invalid, but would you rather live in a virtual reality where you are all powerful or live in the real world and be able to go anywhere but not be able to interact with anyone or anything? So,
well, we already live in a virtual reality.
Right. So this question doesn't really make a ton of sense.
Okay.
Is that like a glitch? Is that...
Virtual reality is my answer.
Well, so real world. It's the same thing. Same answer. Would you rather wake up as a new random person every year and have full control of them for the whole year, or once a week spend a day inside a stranger without having any control of them?
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you
basically, would you rather possess someone for a year, or every week just be a passenger in someone's body?
I would do the week one because then I have the rest of the week to myself. The year one is like, I could really mess this person's life up if I don't do everything right. The week one is just like, I don't have to do anything for a day.
It'd be rather interesting to do the week one because then like you get to see how other people react and act to things, except for like when they go to the bathroom. And I imagine you can't like close your eyes because your eyes are their eyes. So you're just like, well, we're here. This is what we're doing. But I mean, anyway, but if you wake up as a new person, then you have to like
you have to figure out and you have to figure out like what their life is.
Would never do that. I would
go inside someone else's body.
No, like I just would explain that I'm not the same person. Like I wouldn't try.
Have you all seen? I think the movie is already up. There was a trailers a while back for a movie where this person, it was just an entity, whatever.
Yeah,
and
I think I know what you're talking about.
It would possess a new person like every day.
And then didn't that one guy fall in love with it? So
it fell in with a girl. Fell in love with, and it was, and the girl already had a different boyfriend or something. And that's how they met because it possessed her boyfriend. And it was just that person every day. And it was this weird love story. And the guy who plays Ned Leeds, I just blanked on his name, Jacob, I think is his first name. He plays Ned Leeds in the new Spider-Man movies. He was in it. So.
Yeah, I heard about that. I thought it sounded really interesting. Never watched it.
Yeah, neither did I. But that made me think of that.
Would you rather every shirt you ever wear be kind of itchy or only be able to use one-ply toilet paper?
One-ply toilet paper. I don't care. 2-ply is like what we use. There's only one layer. Because, like, what then regular is like 2-ply.
church toilet paper.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whatever comes in those giant.
Yeah, I'll take that every day.
Yeah.
Itchy shirts are not worth that.
It's only a little itchy. It's only it's itchy enough to notice it, but not really like be disturbed.
I would do the 1-ply
toilet paper.
Would you rather have to read? Nope. Would you rather have all dogs try to attack you when they see you, or all birds try to attack you when they see you? Birds. Birds is terrifying. I mean dogs, because birds is terrifying.
Oh my gosh, I can't even. Neither. I have a dog, and there are birds all around my house.
For the rest of my life.
Oh yeah, 100%. But still.
I don't know. I think it'd be really funny to be attacked by birds when I walk outside.
No, it would not. It'd be funny for like the second when you see them flying towards you, but as soon as they like make contact,
it would be terrifying to see them flying towards me.
Imagine pecking your skin off.
The birds work for the bourgeoisie.
I like how for this like last however much of the thing, it's just y'all talking, and then occasionally me popping in with the birds work for the bourgeoisie.
Well, I thought you said that you could talk during a podcast when you're.
I can. But like I'm not. You guys talked about D&D for a hot minute, and then y'all kept talking about debating whether to ride or die, and I was like, okay, I'm not.
I didn't hear your opinion, by the way. Would you ride or die?
Yeah, ride. I told you ride or die.
Okay, just making sure.
Unless like we had known each other for like a year.
Oh, but you're married to him, Carolyn.
Yeah, but if we'd only been married a year and like he killed a second.
But how long have you known him beforehand? Probably more than just a year.
Would you rather have a?
Married on first sight?
Would you rather 30 butterflies instantly appear from nowhere every time you sneeze, or one very angry squirrel appear from nowhere every time you cough?
Butterflies.
Butterflies, except today I had like a sneezing attack, and I sneezed like 4 times in a row, and I'd rather not have 120 butterflies in my living room.
That'd be so fun.
I know. A butterfly landed on me. I love butterflies. I hate when they land on me. A butterfly landed on me a couple months back, and I cried because it wouldn't crawl off of me.
Oh, this was so funny. Oh my gosh. We get home from school. This is before we graduate high school.
What Steven's going to think of this podcast?
Is he going to listen to this?
But we're outside. We walk out of the car. A butterfly, it's just flying around because it's like spring. It lands on her. She doesn't really, she kind of goes, and then it just stays. As she moves, it just stays. And she's like, and she literally just she bursts into tears.
It had rained.
And I thought it was
rained, and it was right by our car when we got out. So it crawled on a stick, and as I'm moving to a tree, it crawls across the stick onto my hand, and it wouldn't leave my hand. Because I guess my hand, like, it had salt attached. Sure, I don't even know. It wouldn't leave. And I thought it was the funniest thing. Because our parents weren't home yet. So she's like, call Dad, call Mom. And I call our dad, and he's like, what? And I tell him what happened, and he just laughs, and he goes, I can't help you. And I went, I know, I just thought you would like to know. And Karen's like, help. And I thought it was the funniest thing. I think I have a video of it somewhere.
I went to a butterfly farm one time. It was pretty cool. It was
you know people like at the fair, like I don't mean to take away from your story, but you said butterfly farm and it just made me think like,
they have the big thing.
Yeah, but you know how like people will like purposely put honey or whatever on their body and then they'll walk in there just to look cool when they like.
No, I did not, but please tell me more.
Yeah, they'll have butterflies all on their body everywhere because they'll put
really
like food or whatever there.
Yeah.
Just so that way when you walk in there, they look cool. Like you'll think, oh wow, if they can do it.
I don't think that's worth it, but I mean,
I don't like any kind of bug on my body. Last night, I had to spend like an hour trying to kill one of those. I call them king flies, but that's not what they're really called. They're just like the big ones, like the ones that are like this big.
The horseshoe.
Horse flies?
Whatever. They're my nickname for them. And
the
like
big boys.
So like it was just flying around my room, and like every time it touched, I hate when bugs like touch my skin. That's it. It's over.
Let's see. I have one big problem with bugs, and that is that when it's late at night, they crawl on my computer screen, and it drives me nuts.
Have you ever been in bed?
Because I'm trying to watch what's on my computer screen, but they will not let me.
Have you ever been in bed and like the only thing that's illuminated in your room is your phone screen or your tablet or whatever, and then something just like sticks itself to it?
Yeah.
And then like instinctively I'll go bang, and I'm like, I just hit my screen, but like I don't care because I tried to get rid of the pest.
Like I said, they only ever bother me when they're like on my computer, and that's because I want to watch, but I don't want to. It's weird when they're just crawling all over it.
No, the worst thing is we've had a mosquito in our room the past few nights, and I don't know how it hasn't died yet.
I don't know how we got the fly infestation,
but I literally, as they were saying, I'll be laying in bed and I'll just hear like fly past my ear, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I have to make sure everything is covered and like cover my head so I don't get bit anywhere. and it's just the worst. We've also had wasps on our front porch.
The wasps are the worst thing.
For like we have 2 right now.
Screw the mosquito in our room. The wasps are terrible.
Where did I see a wasp nest? It was somewhere around my house, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
I don't know, because this room is like always sealed off. Like there's no way stuff can get in here because it's like in a corner. It's in the corner of the house, and it's like it's not near any sort of way for them to get in. But there's this window right here, and if you pull down or you pull up the blinds, I found like 3 wasps just chilling, and I sprayed them with bug spray until they were no longer with us. And somehow, like a couple days later, they're still there. Like there's still more there. I don't know how they're getting in.
So here's my question: Have you ever had to kill a bug with something that's not bug spray?
Yes.
Yeah. Like what?
For
like
me,
a shoe.
Well, no, like
some
other,
like
like
Febreze.
Febreze.
Yeah, there was a spider that descended from the ceiling in front of our TV the other day. Ooh. And it got on our soundbar and made my dad mad when he found out I did this.
Caitlin and I are both terrified of spiders.
And we literally got Glade.
We were home alone.
Like Glade from our parents' room, and I'm just like spraying it. And she calls our dad, and we're like, "Can you come home and help?" And he's like,
"Did the speaker sound weird afterwards?"
No, it didn't.
No, we didn't get it on the speaker.
I didn't I sprayed like above it so it'd fall. And I kind of sprayed out at some. My dad's like, "Did you?" And we told him what we did. He goes, "You sprayed Glade at the TV?" And I was like, "No, I sprayed above it." And he goes, "You sprayed Glade at the soundbar when it landed on the soundbar?" And I was like, "Not really," because I aimed more at the wood itself
than the soundbar. Know the details.
And he was like, "Are you?" And I was like, "It's fine." And so eventually, because I walked up and I was gonna hit it, and then it raised a leg. I'm not kidding. It was there, like all 8 legs were just chilling. It was just sitting there. And then it raised 1 leg straight up in the air. And that was the creepiest thing I've ever seen from a bug. And
it's an arachnid.
Yeah, whatever. And so I literally had to get a paper towel and cover it. And then Carolyn hit it with a shoe a few times. And the worst thing is, I had to go to work, but Carolyn was not letting me leave.
Yeah, I didn't want to be alone with it.
So, here's my spider story. One time, I found a big spider in the bathroom. So, being the responsible young man, it was like this big.
It was like this.
Praise the sun. It was like this big. And so I found it and I was like, man, I'm gonna not kill it. So I got a cup from the kitchen and a card, and I did the card thing and I let it go outside.
I got a spider story. So one time I was in New York, right? And I was just chilling, and I went to this like we were touring around different venues and like different museums and stuff. And I went to this bug museum, and
there's a bug museum,
a arachnid museum, believe it or not. Ooh. It's a section of this like giant like animal kind of museum. Uh-huh. And I go into the exhibit, and I feel like a sting on my arm, and I hit it. I killed the bug.
Dude, are you Spider-Man?
I killed the bug, and it falls to the ground dead. And I wake up the next night, and I go to like brush my teeth.
And then you turned invisible?
And I put my hands on like the what do you call it? Like the basin. Yeah. And it broke off.
Whoa. That's cool.
And then I like put my hand on the wall.
Did you like tear it off?
No.
Oh.
Put my hand on the wall. It was stuck. I had to like forcibly try to...
Dude, that's pretty wacky.
And so I tried to forcibly remove it, and eventually like it tore off. And I screamed, of course. It's pain, You just pulled something off like the wall that's stuck there. I went back to bed the next day, woke up. It's normal.
Dude, that's wild.
I know.
How did you explain the broken sink to your dad?
Well, luckily when I woke up, I had closed the door and left like I took a folder with me and I put it in front of the door so that way if he tried to open the bathroom door it would hold, right?
Uh-huh.
And so when I woke up the next morning, he was already gone with his bag. So he was gone to get the car so that way we could go, to the airport and leave. And so I went to the bathroom door and I tugged on it, and it, the setup that I had was still there, so I knew he hadn't seen it. And so what I ended up doing was I put and when I say the basin broke off, I don't mean a whole chunk of it. I mean enough to where I could put a piece back, and if you squinted at it, it looked like it was not broken, So I took the piece and I just put it back there, and then I removed it, and I tried to make it look exactly like how it was. And then I packed up my stuff and I left. And we haven't gotten any calls about a broken sink or anything, so...
Super fun. I was leaving my grandmother's house the other day, and on the road right there, because she lives out in the country... Okay, Spider-Man. But we're driving, and there we see something move, because I'm with Carolyn and our parents, and we see something moving, and I go, is that a tarantula? It was like, we were like probably 50, 60 feet away, and I could still tell it was a tarantula. It was like huge. But
I was
also,
lucky enough not to have seen it, otherwise I probably
would have different point of conversation. You know how the zoo, it has those 3 buildings that you have to walk through all of it to get through them?
Yeah.
You know how one of them, when you walk in, it's like bugs everywhere and things?
I love that one.
How messed up would it be, and how awful and scary would it be if you walked in and every single one of the glass was broken and bugs were just everywhere?
I had a similar event where one time I went in there and most of them were off exhibit, and it was kind of freaky.
Well, one time I went to the snake exhibit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting in there.
Are you about to tell a Harry Potter story?
What?
Just continue with your story.
Just makes me laugh because how funny it was.
But
I was, what?
I just want to say a fun fact about tarantulas.
Okay,
they migrate, and I think that's really cool.
Tell my story.
I don't know why, but like, can't you imagine like a lot of tarantulas just like traveling in a pack?
That would scare.
Anyway, I was in the snake.
Yeah, that's a real thing. Isn't that cool?
No, that's terrifying.
I was in the snake exhibit. And I was with my friends. They were kind of bullying me. And, it felt bad, but I laugh at the situation now because of what happened to those guys. I was like looking at the snake, and it came up to me almost like it was talking to me, right? And it looked at me, and I looked at it, and all of a sudden, I turn around, and my friends are just gone. And then I turn back forward, and one of my friends was wearing a hat that kind of looks like this hat, got some like dolphins on it, whatever. Turn around, that hat's in the glass. And then I'm like, wait, what? And I look closer at the snake. It's a snake skin, not even a snake. Snake's gone. Boys are gone. I freaked out, but I laughed because they were like hurting my feelings, and I just left. I looked at the wall, and like it was like not from here. I pulled it from somewhere else.
I don't get that.
It's my snake story. It's not a reference. It happened.
All I can think of is Harry Potter when he was with the Dursleys and they're bullying him, and he talked to a snake and then
that's a cool story, but it's a cool story, but that actually happened to me. So.
Okay, cool. Harry Potter.
What about it?
Did you go to Hogwarts after this?
That's not real.
Were you told you were a wizard, Jackson?
I knew someone from your old school that used to believe that...
Hogwarts, where you guys used to go to school.
Oh, yeah. That's not the first time that joke has been said.
I used to know this kid from your old school that used to think that he was, like, a wizard that was about to turn 11.
Which one?
Please tell me his name.
Well, I don't remember. They're all irrelevant.
Wait, okay, quick Harry Potter question for the people who like Harry Potter. Is there, like, rival schools?
Yes.
Yeah, like there's...
The French school and the Russian school, that's all I know about them.
So do they have, like, different regions?
Yeah, the Russian school's from Russia, and there's a French school that starts with B, I can't remember. There is the American school, but that's got a lot of controversy about it. It's called Ilvermore, and that's got a whole bunch of controversy. We're not going to get into that right now.
It doesn't make sense.
There was like a Triwizard tournament in the 4th book.
Oh, yeah, I didn't read that.
Yeah, have you read any of them? Or?
No, I know nothing about Harry Potter.
I have never read them, I've just watched them.
I have only seen the movies that Jackson made me watch one day. So I think it was like the 4th one in the...
Yeah, Hogwarts is the UK school. There's a French school, there's a Russian school, there's an American school, which doesn't make sense. And we're not going to get into that, though. I could make this last a whole lot longer than it's already gone, just talking about that. But there's various schools, yeah.
Okay.
Hogwarts is not the be-all, end-all. It's apparently the most prestigious.
Well, it's the most pretentious.
Hey. Okay.
Because don't they go to school in an actual castle?
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. Can you imagine going to school in a castle? That'd be cool.
Jackson,
what?
Are you tired?
Huh?
Are you tired?
Am I tired?
Yeah.
No? Why would you say that? What's going on?
Not much.
Some dead air we got here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you rather everyone be required to wear identical silver jumpsuits, or anytime two people meet and are wearing an identical article of clothing, they must fight to the death?
And by identical article, it's like the exact same thing, right?
Not just you're both wearing blue shirts, but it's like the same blue shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather do the jumpsuit because otherwise everyone in my school would be dead, or at least a lot of them would be.
Okay,
we had a uniform.
Forget about uniforms.
That's true. That's the same thing that happened at our schools.
I would still do the jumpsuit one.
Oh, I had a question.
What?
You could wear stuff over the jumpsuit too. It wouldn't be that big a deal.
Yeah.
What do you think about like, do you remember when this was your house?
No.
Oh, never mind.
Vaguely.
Just so everyone's
This
aware.
used to be your room. Now it's my office. How does that make you feel?
I don't really care. We were 3 when we moved out of this house, so.
I've been.
What do you think about this
my
office?
entire
This is
life.
the first time you've like seen it in full force.
I like it.
I think you got that desk behind you that I write all my stories with. You got that mini fridge right there. You got this computer. You got the computer that's back there with the TV. You got the whiteboard. Yeah.
I like it.
Anyway, let's see where we're at right now. I think we're
Probably like an hour and a half.
Yeah, we're at hour 50.
Oh.
Wow, that's a lot better.
I think we do need to wind it down.
Yeah.
Just for your poor editor.
Yeah, whoever she may be.
Yeah, we don't pay her.
We don't know who she is.
It's true.
You know, what's funny is that none of these 3 people have talked to each other as far as we know. Like, they haven't crossed each other's paths.
They could be the same person.
But they always... Maybe. Wouldn't that be crazy?
That would be.
But they always do this thing where they only put their first names. So I only know her name is Jessica, but I don't know what her last name is.
That's weird.
Anyway, so let's see if we have anything else. Let's just open. Let's just see here. So, what do you think? How's it going, Caroline? How's that painting thing going?
Painting.
I've kind of. Oh boy, what's happening? I've kind of started doodling all over. I did like one drawing that's in color, and then I made a little dude, and then I did some figure drawings. I like this, and I want to keep it, but I don't understand half of this because I don't have sketchbook. So how do I save this?
I don't know. Anyway, so I'm just trying to think. Oh, I had this. I forgot. I had another question. So I cannot see. How has your life changed since like now going to college? You know what I mean?
A lot more independent.
Like, how much freedom do you really think between high school and college?
Oh, so much. Because high school, you're stuck in either a building like we were or various buildings for 7 hours a day, and you have to do this or that. College, it's like on Tuesdays, my first semester, I had 1 class at 11 that ended at 12:15, and then I had nothing else to do.
No, this past semester, I didn't have any classes on Friday. Like, there's a lot more freedom, there's a lot more control in your classes. I don't know, I honestly, I like it. I like the differences, honestly. How do I save on here? Do you know how to save on this?
If you close it, it saves it. I can figure it out later.
Does it?
I think
it'll prompt you if you want to save it before
if I just hit the home button?
No, not that close. Like
This is my favorite part of the podcast.
Like a new...
Oh.
Like, you say, hey,
if I do new sketch?
Yeah, if you're like, hey, I want a new sketch.
Do you guys watch
like,
it?
Hey.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't say that.
You didn't watch it?
I just have the ability to create. Is that what you
Lucas, you want to see it too when it comes out?
No.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I ruined everything.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
He deleted the whole character?
Yeah, it's gone. I'm sorry.
Can we just
you were
like what is his personality traits? What's he doing?
You could, like, share it.
It's
like,
a character from a series she watches, just so you're aware.
Fixed.
I read the first Hunger Games. What do you guys think about that?
I like the Hunger Games.
I don't know. I just watched the movie and I thought it was really weird.
I don't know.
I didn't get why it was so popular, I guess. Maybe it's just because at that point it had been parodied a lot, so I knew everything that was going to happen, and I didn't understand why it was so revolutionary, but...
I don't know. I never knew anything about it.
Oh, when you read it? It had already been parodied?
Yeah, when I got around to seeing it, it had already been, like...
I've never seen the movies.
Huh?
And I've only read the first book.
I don't know. I wouldn't... Would you recommend them? Because I didn't think...
I'm going to watch it for comparison's sake.
I like them. The issue with it being parodied a bunch is that it watered down what it meant. Because, like, I read this whole great analysis of it, but I don't remember a whole lot of it. But it was a really great just commentary on how... I can't even get into how... I thought it was really good when I read it. I read it when it first, came out. Actually, when it first came out, I didn't read it because I thought... Hunger Games? Oh, it's just people who are hungry playing games. I didn't know. No, I didn't read the back.
What did they call that? The
Starving
I've
Games?
opened it to a new sketch, and it let me save, so...
But I think it's really good, and it's a great commentary on things. And something that I thought was really funny about when the movies came out is that, you know how in small spoilers if you haven't read or watched it, but in the books they
now we have to put that on the title.
Yeah. They
you remember in the finale when you were like, you gotta make spoilers for Toy Story 4? I didn't do it.
But
I mean, it had been a while.
To be fair, nobody listens. You realize, like, we make these long podcasts.
Yeah, no one listens to
in our analytics, it's like, you know, they stop watching around the 3-minute mark.
It's true.
We make them for us, okay? Make them for us.
But
I'll listen to all of it.
Because when we get to 100,000 subscribers, guess what? They'll be watching to at least the 10-minute mark, right?
That's true.
Yeah, but how in the book they focused on her relationship with PETA, and then when Gail came into the picture, Gail, and then how in real life people were like, oh, Team PETA, Team Gail. I thought it was so funny that in real life, all media talked about was the love triangle, which is what all the Capitol talked about, when really it was this great metaphor and just like this great metaphor for how this awful tragedy is happening, but nobody's focusing on the tragedy.
All of the don't do that. Also, all of the they made a whole makeup thing and they focused on the Capitol makeup, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, it's just this really great like metaphor and analogy for how I don't know. It was just really good. I liked it.
Wow. We've been here for a while.
Yeah.
I was gonna exercise, but like,
I mean, isn't this exhausting enough?
I am pretty tired. I'm not gonna lie.
Do we want to end it?
No, we got 4 minutes, and I'm not gonna end unless it says 2-0-0.
We got 4 minutes.
Argue, fight, please.
No.
You're a.
Okay, I'm cutting that.
That actually was gonna get. I almost.
What's the times cut? So 56 something.
I almost cursed for a moment. Like that was my almost instinctive reaction.
Yeah, how?
Just
make it.
I'm still okay. Your Jake Pauler poster's gotten better because the sunset, his eyes aren't bright red. Now they're actually brown.
That's what we like to call character.
But do you want to know? Do you want to know the real story behind that poster?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
story time.
Do you know this?
Yeah, I know the story.
Drexel. So when we all got cars, like everybody got cars before me.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I would ride with Drexel places. Well, first I rode with him, but then I found out his car doesn't have airbags.
Still doesn't.
So I was like, I'm not risking it. So then I started going with Drexel places, and
because he has a Subaru and it's safe.
And the only thing dangerous about Drexel's driving is that he swerves. What was that?
It's a Divine.
I'm going to Divine.
Oh,
I'm gonna get a Subaru.
Ghost credit, no credit.
Anyway. So Drexel and I were driving around, and it was like storming. And we went to a basketball game, and then the football game, and then they canceled it because of the rain and the lightning and stuff. So we went to Walmart, and then I saw this poster, and I bought it, and we put it on Snapchat, and I unrolled it, and I unveiled how much of Jack Pauler I am, and then I put it up. It used to be there, and it was our shrine.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, where is it? I think it's like down there or something. Every Christmas we decorate it. We put a Santa hat on him.
It's gonna be really hard this year.
Well, this year I'm going to go even better. I'm going to put the Santa hat on him, put some, like, chains, like some Christmas lights. I may even do it for the other posters, too. And so, yeah, that's how we
What do you think about him and
hold
Kenna and Mojo?
I think Drexel and I talked about it. No, that wasn't on the podcast. I mean, it's fate. It's just as real as Jericho was.
I've got another question about some of your decorations.
Yeah.
You got a cup of pins behind you right next to a lovely little thing of Lilo and Stitch. Yeah. But in between them, there's just a boy, and I can't recognize him, but he's been staring at me for several hours.
My assaulter?
What?
Who is that?
This is the man who broke my wrist.
Why do you have a photo of him pinned to your wall?
Because the pain's not enough.
How did he break your wrist again?
I don't want to talk about it.
He landed on it.
I want to talk about it.
Okay, but I want to tell it then.
But first, he is there because he graduated.
No, that's not why he's there.
He gave, I'm saying why it exists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he graduated, we all got pictures like that, so for his last basketball game, we all had those, and we, waved them around, it was really cool.
I kept it, and I was like, well,
So anyway.
I mean, this is more important. My DoorDasher, who's Alan, it's been my pleasure to serve you
today.
Have we seen Alan? I don't think we've seen Alan. I saw Alan the other day. He was over at that house. But I haven't ordered him.
He gives you a card?
Yeah, all the DoorDash guys give you a card. It's like their little thank you.
They don't. I've never gotten a card.
Alan gave me a card.
I'll
do
DoorDash at my work, and they don't give me one.
Yeah, but okay, tell the story how you broke your wrist.
Okay, so
Once upon a time.
So it was Christmas circa 2018, and I had a Harry Potter night. This will end the podcast. This is the last story. But I had a podcast. I mean, what?
Late.
I had a Harry Potter movie thing where we were watching like basically all of them, but we got bored, so we started jumping around. Mm-hmm. And we I think from the get-go people wanted to wrestle, and I remember two people they challenged each other and they started wrestling, and like as a host I kept things like from breaking and I kept everybody like from getting hurt, but I didn't stop to think about my own well-being. So then like I got like people say that I challenged him, but initially it was his request, so I don't care about that. And no, it was his request.
What'd I do?
Anyway, so then he so we start wrestling, and you can see how he looks. He's a big guy.
He's a big boy.
I fall. I can demonstrate. I fall like imagine like I'm on the ground. I fall like this, and my wrist is like that, and he falls on top of me, and my whole hand goes back against like this. Yeah. So then it snaps and swells up, but people are like, "Oh, if he can move his fingers, it's not broken." And like I could barely.
Did it hurt?
I could enough. It didn't hurt, not really. It didn't hurt until realistically, it never truly hurt until like now, where it's just phantom pain forever. But
did you go to physical therapy?
Yeah. And so I mean, I went to get the cast. And so anyway, so that's how I broke my wrist, and in memory, here he is.
Nice.
Anyway, so thank you guys for watching another episode. Why did we record 2 of them?
I don't know.
I didn't enjoy it. I'm gonna be honest. I hated it. After 30 minutes, I was out.
Yeah.
Oh,
at the 30 minute
because you had to go to the bathroom.
You went to the bathroom like only 2 times, but it
Guess
literally
what?
within
Guess
15
what?
minutes.
Guess what?
You have to go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. After the 30-minute mark, Caitlin and I, like, that was our peak, like, energy, so we just, like, were basically...
I like this version better than the first version.
Yeah, full speed, very loud, both of us. And
like, I felt like at the beginning I was, like, taking the shovel and putting the coal into the engine for the train to just zoom off.
Right.
And almost hit a second train.
Well,
and then, like now I'm in control of the train.
Well, because at first you're like, okay, you guys just go off, and then you tried to do questions, and then
we just kept going.
We just started talking. Alright.
So anyway, thanks so much, and what's up, Mr. Mueller? And we will see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.